What is up, everyone? JD here. Hope you're doing well today. We're going to be going through my top carried knives of the week. Let's get into it. First, I want to apologize. My sinuses are killing me. I probably sound congested because I am, and I am a little nasally because I'm stopped up. But we're going to do this regardless. Let's go ahead and jump into Monday. I had the Sharp by Design Mini Tempest for the Monday Blues. Yes, I know it's titanium with hints of blue, but I figured that qualified because I was dual wielding. Really like this design. It has very comfortable ergonomics. It is a very clean profile, which I think allows it to be an office type carry. I did anodize just a couple of pieces of hardware to accent the blue in that blue dark matter carbon fiber, which I think looks really good. Like that a lot. Great jimping here. It's very grippy, so it makes it very easy to deploy for that front flipper, and that front flipper sits proud enough to where it's easy to get to, and there's just enough of that fuller for the reverse flick, which is very satisfying with the detent nub that is in this system. If you're not familiar with these knives, they are phenomenal, very well built by Riyadh, and I love the Sharp by Design lines on the knife. I think it looks really good. Just a very, very awesome knife. Also, skiffs in the pivot and M390. I always skip over that on this model. I don't know why. But the other knife that I was dual wielding is going to be the Wii Hyphen. I carry this thing a crap ton, so much so that I went ahead and put a fresh edge on it. I did have a little bit of an accident over here. I got distracted and went a little deep with the KME by mistake and caught a little bit of the blade there, and that is not a smile because of the sharpening choil. That's just at the angle. I didn't realize it was sliding at one point on this side. I had to tighten it up, so that was my fault. But man, does that KME throw a seriously good edge, and this feels pretty hard for Chinese heat treated 20 CV. I know that they can run as high as 61, and I don't know if that's this or if it's just me, but it does feel like it is treated really good as far as how the stone was going across it, and I had to spend the extra time on it to get a nice edge on it. I did go ahead and re-anodize the thumb holes. They were the thumb studs, sorry. They were actually just, I don't know, going away from being, or fading from being open and closed and fidgeted with so much. But I just really like this knife, and the anodize on it looks fantastic. We does such a good job with this type of ano work. I think it's really cool looking the way that it plays with the light. Looks like it's worn and battered. Just a great look, and it really matches the etched blade as well. But those were my Monday carries for the Monday Blues. Again, the Mini Tempest was just highlights of blues, but I really like it. What can I say? On Tuesday, Thumbstad Tuesday, or Titanium Tuesday, whatever you want to call it, it's going to be this Quiet Carry 9. Really enjoying this knife, and it's getting a ton of use. You can see the satin finish on here starting to show some marks from going through certain types of materials that catch on it funny. I'm not quite even sure what it was that I was cutting, and I can't really get it to show up well, but you can see some of the scratches starting to show up on that polished finish. I went ahead and freshened up the edge a little bit on this one, and it is super sticky now. Got the skiffs at the pivot, 20 CV blade steel, if I didn't mention that on the clip point. Snappy action and just really comfortable ergos on this one. It's got enough height and just a slight contour to it. So for me, it feels really nice in hand, and I like that a lot. Good jimping on the back here. It could probably stand to be a little bit more aggressive. It does at times feel a little bit slick if I have some moisture on the hand, but not that bad at all. Great access to the lock bar and super smooth action. It is almost a guillotine. It just needs a little encouragement for the close. Pocket clip on all three of these, because I haven't been talking about that. They go in and out of the pocket really, really well. On Wednesday, I wanted to just carry my recently acquired Mini Evo. This is another Sharp by Design knife. Beautiful belt satin finish on the drop point blade. Really good jimping on this as well. I love the way that the flipper tab kind of bends forward or angles forward. I think that gives it a very interesting design line, and the purple haze on this came out really, really good. I didn't get a good batch on the original 80-20.5 clip point that I tried to put these on, but this one came out really nice. And again, I just did the 2 little touches of hardware on there to accent the purples. I really like the way that that looks with a hint of purple. This one here, not quite as broken in as the Mini Tempest, but it'll get there. And this one here, I have found you kind of got to dig your nail in, or the meat of your finger in, to get that reverse flick, because it's not really meant for that. But you can, once you figure out where to put it. I can do it pretty consistent, and it has that crisp snap because that detent nub hasn't been broken in. That one also has skiffs, and it has M390 for that blade steel. These two, I will say the pocket clips, they do go in and out pretty good, but sometimes depending on the jean material, because it's so close, they do catch a little bit. And I think I'm going to have to smooth that one over and this one a little bit more, because I do kind of feel that a little bit still. I knocked it down originally. You can see where it's polished up from where I tried to knock it down subtly. But sometimes I feel that depending on how I'm holding the knife, if I'm using it to cut. On Thursday, I had to break out the Wu Pulsar. I was really missing this one. It is such a great deal. You get well-treated Elmax steel with the belt satin finish on here. Super comfortable ergos. Really nice hand position. You can get it with or without the jimping, or you can get it with G10 or carbon fiber. All different types of variants to tickle your fancy, whatever it is that you like. I don't love the way this pocket clip feels in hand. It's a little bit pokey, but I really do like the way that it goes in and out of the pocket and the way that it functions. And it's not too terrible where I don't mind it at all. I have the regular springs on here. I don't like the way that the heavy springs work with this one. I prefer the smooth action and the easy manipulation of the crossbar lock and the thumb hole or opening hole, whatever you want to call it. For me, I just prefer that. I did go ahead and put skiffs on this one as well. I really love this model from Wu. Just one of my favorites. It's definitely been my most carried Wu knife out of all the ones that I have from them in my collection. On Friday, I had to break it back out. My grail was in the pocket. The Koenig Arius with the pattern non-flipper and my own anodizing of the hardware on here. I really just love the deep blue against that monochromatic body. I think it looks really good. You have a satin finish on the blade, hand rubbed on the grind and on the swedge. I think that looks really cool. Very comfortable for large hands. I have lots of room when I'm choking up to use it in a choked up position with the detail work when you're moved up on the knife. It works really good too if you need to be back for any hard use. Very comfortable. I don't feel any lines or pocket clips on this one, and I don't know that I have anything in the collection that feels this smooth and fluid and this crispy that has this great of a sound to it. Such great sounds. But anyway, that was the Arius that was in the pocket on Friday. Since these two were both carried on Monday, I'm going to move the Hyphen over to the side because it actually will stand on camera for the whole lineup to be in there, and the Arius will be on the top, and that was what was in there Friday. Great treatment on that M390. I don't use or abuse it. I carry it in open packages and, you know, minor cutting with it. I'm not really hard using it yet. I'm still in the babying it phase, but I'm sure it'll go away as time persists, as does with most knives at that price point. But I really like this. I think I got a good variety of stuff that is a little bit more affordable and easy to obtain, and then I got some that are a little bit on the higher end for what I think most collectors have, but really great. I am going to be revisiting some of these for the long term. If you're interested in that, make sure you're tuned in, and the reviews for all of these are out there, except maybe the Arius. I don't think I've done the Arius. Oh, and I don't think the newer Evo is out there yet either. I think it's just from the original sample pass around that was out there. So I do think I need to do that and get that out there as well. But what have you had in the pockets? Let me know. I appreciate all the love and support from the likes, the comments, and for everyone subscribing. I hope you have a fantastic week. Until next time, peace.